Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 16, 2024 Board of Education meeting. My name is Tim Hopkins, and I'll be presiding over this meeting. I'm calling to order at 6 p.m. The next item on our agenda is approval of the agenda as presented. Now we need a motion.
There, Savage, I'm going to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Sorry. Dr. D, we're gonna call it at 6 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Relate to a time, we called it to order. Usually I state the time and Marcus usually corrects me if I don't do it. Yeah.
It is 6 p.m.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Any abstention or recusals? And that motion carried. The next item on our agenda is the pledge of allegiance and vote of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And please remain standing for a moment of silence. Please be seated. The next item on our agenda is approval of minutes. Yeah. Y'all too. Is approval of minutes for November 18th, 2024 board meeting, and I'll need a motion.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion. Mark Farrell, second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions or recusals? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is public participation, and we do not have any. The next item after that is superintendent's communications, and that is Dr. D.
Thank you. Well, welcome everyone this evening. Happy almost holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. That said, I am going to turn over my time to Mr. Cohe and our student representatives from the FFA from Seaford High School, and take it away.
Done.
My name is Colin Hignett. I'm the president of the FFA. I'm Luke Mester. I'm the vice president.
I'm Kevin, I'm the Sentinel.
Robert Riggleman, reporter. And some of the things we've been doing this year is one of Mr. Coe's classes so far. We've been doing the Ducks Unlimited certification exam. We've been studying all marking period, the second marking period, on taking a final exam, and I think we're 1 week away from doing it. And we've been continuing with our wood duck box program. We started engraving our sponsors into the front, trying to get their name out there and help support our program.
And for me, I'll talk about our banquet that we had last spring. This was a super successful and really a great time for our FFA program as a whole, because we had not had a banquet specifically since before COVID. So it was a really, really big deal for our program to get back into it. And we started up our first banquet since before COVID. It was a huge success. We had, I believe, over 100 people just around in attendance, had some great food, a lot of fun games for everybody to play. And what was really special was, in this way, we honored some of our members that had graduated and didn't get to have a banquet. So in doing this, we still gave them their rewards, and really it was kind of a nice full circle moment for them to really get in what they had missed out in high school, which was such a big part of our program. Seniors gave their speeches about Mr. Coe and all the wonderful things he did for them, and everybody got listed their new positions, and obviously the people who were graduating got retired. Another thing I'll talk about is our advisory brunches. Our advisory brunches are a big thing for our CPE to really get what they're doing out to local members in the community where they can really see what they're up to and how their program is creating the next line of award drawers. Colin and I talked a lot about what we did, and then people broke up into different breakout groups where they could really hone in and have a bigger slideshow presentation about what we were doing. We were able to take them out to our municipal greenhouses to show them what they were all to show them like firsthand what we were talking to them about.
I'll piggyback off of that. So our hydroponic systems were doing very good, and we've had about 4 successful lettuce harvests. And after the first of the year, we're hoping that we have decent harvest for peppers and tomatoes. And in the future, we're gonna be receiving our fish and plant hydroponic system. It's called. Really two hydroponics. And we're looking to grow multiple fish and plants with that. And so this year, we entered the state fair with multiple projects. Woodworking, we got first place with the bench. In our metalworking, we got first place with the shop thing that I also built. We got first place and 6th place.
Then the last year, we all made a memorial garden for Scott Henry, he passed away. And then we planted a lot of plants and flowers in that corner to honor him. And got the class together, made it, and it turned out really good. And learned what we should plant on there and not, because last year the pre-Kers got into the hot tomatoes. We also made Christmas flags, which are over there. Yesterday we got the materials for them. Today we got all of our classes to put them together and build them.
And we're very passionate about that to you guys. We want to thank you for supporting our program. Everything was harvested locally. Now, not all of it is all native. Some of the stuff was harvested yesterday, some of it was harvested outside of the classroom today. We did in landscape design classes with these together, and first time making a swag, and they took it serious. I was very proud of them, what they accomplished.
Maybe they can hold them. We'll take a picture with the students holding the swags, and we'll take some pictures with the board. You want all of you guys, or just you and me?
It's good, man.
All right. Am I all right? Yeah.
All right, ready, 1, 2, 3.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Mr. Cole, I see you got deer in the middle of it.
Like we gotta have that, so.
Right.
Only kill 2.
Yeah.
Munchkins killed $2 on the my little 83-year-old, she killed one with a crossbow this year. She kind of, yeah. She did 4 or 5 few hours and she got her 100 adults. And she loved it, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I love it, man. We had Munchkin in hunting competition over Gilmer, bro.
Yeah.
And she had the heaviest youth buck, heaviest buck, or second heaviest buck overall, like all in dogs, too, out of like 240 people. She had the second heaviest buck. Yeah, so we got 1 for each of the board members, and then also Dr. G, 1 for you, and Sharon, got 1 for you also. No, 1 more. One more thing I will ask, this example, one of our wooden boxes, that we're gonna use this year. On the paper we gave out, it had a picture of standard athletes at the face. So we're both students, so we're looking to modify this a little bit, but one of our students has access to a laser engraver. So we had, we're working on changing the SHS FFA design to make it more applicable to what we do. So, we want to have the environmental science aspect of it, the wildlife, but also keep the agriculture aspect of it. So I'll send this over to the art teachers, and they're gonna look at, how the students can refine this and make it more of our own. So we looked at what was out there, got an idea, had it rolling, development. And this is also how we're gonna promote, some of our sponsors. I know we got Dogfish Head is interested in sponsoring some boxes at Chapel Branch. So we can constantly put more and more boxes. We've got 12 boxes we do right now. And it's cool that, Colin was with us. We put 4 of the boxes this year, and one of those boxes produced 15 ducklings. So that was really cool that, the one box, how much of an impact that has. And with a month later, she still had 13 of the 15 with her. So, and most of the mortality happens in the first month. So that was very encouraging for us. So it was really cool for them to see that aspect of it. So we want to continue, building that. And Cypress that we got was, through, Woodbridge FFA. They went ahead and milled it, and we bought it from them.
Wow.
So, it's nice to show that collaboration, very cool, it's awesome. And our goal this year is we're gonna be putting some more up. We've got Denmark on board with doing some banding with us. So the kids will go out on the boats. We got a boat for the program this past year. So we're gonna take the kids out on the boat, and do some of the banding with, birds that are using existing boxes. When we put some more boxes up, Denmark wants us to do some, banding on private property. So I have a landowner that they're gonna set a, large swimming trap. And they bait it up, the ducks swim in there, you hit the button, the door closes, and you go in and band the birds one at a time. And what it does, it gives a lot of, data as far as, migration patterns, how many of our birds are staying resident, how many are harvested, by local hunters or hunters elsewhere. So it's really cool to see, because we cover migration patterns in the high school, looking at how many birds that we have here now, like our swans, the country swans are coming in now, some of those fly away from Alaska to here, and some fly from Alaska to California. So it's kind of cool for the kids to see that, and it's gonna be that much more rewarding when they see, where their birds are going, that they help either hatch out of the box or band.
Yeah.
And, we've got out Delmarva interested in doing a segment, with that. So, it's gonna be really cool. I've talked to Jason Lee a couple different times, and they're really excited about, getting out there with us. So we kind of put a spotlight on the kids' hard work and their dedication. So, I'm gonna ask you guys wouldn't mind signing inside the door, and that way,
Pass the box to them.
Yeah,
I think it
Start anywhere, and I'll walk around real quick.
We'll walk to you.
All right.
It might be easier.
And, this Ducks Unlimited certification we talked about, we're the first school in the state to offer that certification. And it's one of the few environmental science industry certifications, that the state of Delaware approved, so. So I brought you just in case, so.
Oh, that's good.
So that's a program, we started this, 5 years ago, we started building boxes, and it's, it's just really grown since then. It's awesome. And actually, I'll say behind you, I don't know what you, but. Where? Sure. When we do the boxes, every year we have to go in and put new cedar shavings in, so we clean the boxes out, check see how many eggs, or broken eggs we see inside there. And put new cedar shavings in because the wood ducks don't make their own nest.
So where do the wood ducks nest if they don't have the box?
In tree cavities.
Okay.
And just with, the amount of habitat destruction that happened with agriculture and development, wood duck population dropped drastically. And now because of the wood duck box program that Ducks Unlimited, dump waterfowl and private landowners, it's one of the most common, waterfowl that we have on the eastern seaboard.
I don't think of ducks as nesting in boxes, right?
You look at our mallards or black ducks, they're all ground nesters. So, that's why, we can have the biggest impact on the wood duck population because there's stuff that we can do for them.
It's so important.
Thank you.
I'll give it to you right there.
Mr. Koenig, if you could put 2024 at the bottom.
Yes.
I used to wonder why other groups didn't come in and present, but I think they're just afraid that they're gonna get showed up every year by you guys. You're like,
I'm truly blessed without doubt, the crew I have, and they go above and beyond.
absolutely.
I love seeing you guys.
But some of
Absolutely great.
I'm gonna be here.
Well,
How many of you are seniors? You're seniors.
yeah.
Two of us, yeah, two of you. Are you studying agriculture? Afterwards? Not the majority that you said.
Fair enough.
You guys are doing a good job. Absolutely.
I'll miss you after this year. Come every year.
What we gonna do?
I
You have to come back next year, just, you know, just, so we can see you.
Yeah. And we see it.
Awesome.
You have to turn the reins over. Is it Luke?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys don't have to stay. You know, do the presentation.
Yeah.
But, thank you again.
Thank you for being.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
So that concludes my comments for this evening.
So you guys commented for her, so she's taking credit.
Yeah.
All right.
Unless you really want to stay, I mean.
All right, so the next item on our agenda is the board communication. Thank you, FFA, for coming out. I think that's awesome with the ducks and growing lettuce on water and all that stuff, but some people can't grow stuff with full and water. So.
So it's funny, so earlier this year I met with Dr. Holiday, and he had come down, and he was like, so yeah, you guys are growing like lettuce in water, I saw that today, it was really cool. I was like, it'd be great things. It'd be great things.
Oh my goodness, going on. I love it. Check us out. That's true. So far as board communications, same thing as Dr. D said, you know, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, folks, you know, I'm sure we'll communicate with each other. The year is in the end, beginning, so many great possibilities. 2025, yeah, 2025, it's gonna be a great year. Mr. Wright, do you have anything for us?
I do not, we did not meet this month.
Okay, we don't have anything, Mr. Wright.
I attended the Secret Middle School chorus concert. The band, the instructor is out on maternity leave. So they didn't do band and chorus, they just did chorus. There were 109 middle schoolers
Wow.
in that chorus. They did sixth grade and then they did seventh and eighth, and then they combined. And it was an awesome, awesome show. They did a really, really nice job. Really nice job. But everybody's excited for the band director to return off maternity, so you can hear those good songs in the spring.
That's awesome. They just gotta keep with it. Keep growing, keep growing, keep with it. That'd be awesome. Next item on our agenda, unless someone else has anything, Mr. Rice?
No.
Dr. Benson?
No.
Everybody shaking their head no? Okay, moving along. Next item is, GCCR, professional staff leaves and absences regulation, and I believe that's Kim.
So I can, I'm talking, so, okay, I can do both of them together. They are basically the same regular.
Yep.
But getting added both regulations. And yes, we did do these last month. We had some additions going, but there's just been changes, and we kind of talked about that last time. The two big changes to the regulation are one, that we have to add information about the Delaware paid family leave that takes effect January 1st of 2026. But we have to have this kind of, for lack of a more moralized the policy, prior to January 1st of 2025. Also, in the paid parental leave, you'll see that a part-time employee has been added. That is part of the Delaware paid family leave. And because the state of Delaware has a paid parental leave program already, we have to have in our policy that part-time employees are eligible in order to be grandfathered in to the state's paid parental leave program. If we do not add that to the policy, then we would be responsible to have our own paid parental leave policy. So obviously, we're one of the grandfather, and that's what's getting added to the regulations. Is the same thing being added to both the professional and the support staff regulations.
Awesome.
Easy, huh?
Any questions? No. All right, see you then. Thank you. Everybody know. All right, next item on our agenda, we're gonna move to our agenda action items. The first one being school choice. And I need a motion. Dr. Benson.
This is Jeff Benson. I make a motion to deny school choice applications 2025-77 and 2025-78 as presented.
Second. All right, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Oppose? And that motion carries. We do not have any field trips. For a facility request. I'll go for a second. We have one, and it is the Canon Brand E3 Youth Conference. Lakeisha, Canon, and the rental is for January 18th, 2025. They plan on setting up on that day at 7 a.m. They ventured in around 2 p.m. They're asking to use the auditorium and the cafeteria. They're anticipating there will be 99 people in attendance. So I would need a motion to approve this.
Marcus Ryder move to approve the facilities request agenda as presented.
Jeff Benson, second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is IMG service animals in schools policy, and that is again, Mr. Cameron.
Yes, so this is a new policy that we have not had in place, but several districts around us have started to adopt it because of the increase of service animals in schools. So this is a policy that we brought to the policy committee and we kind of drafted. And the regulations will be a lot more detailed as our regulations are in regards to how the policy is going to be enforced, making sure that we are compliant with ADA requirements. The big piece when we get to the regulations and we need this policy, we'll be talking about the difference between a service animal and emotional support animal, because there is a difference. And so that will be spelled out in the regulations, which we'll bring to you. Since the first reading, we'll bring regulations along with the second reading in January and discuss that at that time.
Do we have any service animals at this time within the school accompanying any of our professionals?
Not presently with our professionals. I think we have had with the instance of some athletic events.
Okay.
So we had someone with them. And so that's where some of this kind of stemmed from some other districts communicating that they've had, I don't want to say issue, but they've had some concern and need to put something in place. And so we looked at and talked with them, and that's where this kind of stems from a little bit, kind of for us to be proactive and get ahead of it and have something in place to regulate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's good, that's good. All right, if there's no other questions, this requires a motion to approve.
Jeff Benson, I make a motion to approve the first reading of IMG services animals in schools policy as presented.
Marcus Ryder second.
We have a first. We have a motion and a second. If there's no further questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is the financial reports. And Patrick Hill will report on that.
Thank you very much. Operating unit expenses are staying within reason here. We're at 41.7 of the fiscal year with a total of 38.99 expended with encumbered added in. Of course, that's purchase orders, nothing we've actually spent yet. But we are just slightly over the percentages for the year, which is 43.97. That's no concerns. Again, you will see some cost centers that are over. Communications happen for those that are running close. And I think as I presented last month, things like buildings and grounds is they're recoding all of their MCI. And we've been working on that. I have a whole bunch that I was doing before I got here. And I've still got a lot to do tomorrow in regards to moving that. So by probably next month's report, if not, it depends on if it gets through the state over the holidays, but by next month, by the time January closes, we'll definitely have all that recruited back into where it goes. Overall, we are just under, basically around 700,000 encumbered with approximately 5.1 million totally expended. And again, please note the highlighted areas, which will come out when we do our final report. That will most likely happen in the January, February timeframe. Any questions? Tax collection. Collection was just shy, as you see here, of $1 million. But we also got our senior property tax and disabled veterans tax credit. So the total was up around 1.4 million. Notice that I think I had mentioned last time, but I just want to make sure for everybody's clarity that in the past, this was not this large of a tax, basically a tax chart. And remember last month, I presented the idea of this being all taxes, not just the local portion, all the bank taxes and everything. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. I had also last month told you that I removed the anticipated 98%. Because although we don't always get everything, I think it's appropriate for the board to understand that if we don't get it, that means tax bills haven't been paid. And that's just something for you to be aware of. So I just want to make that clear for in our reports as we look back on. I think that was it for this one. If any questions on that?
The veterans, how's that included? How do you base that veterans taxes? You say you got some back? Is that based on how many veterans we have working at the school district, or is that just
No,
automatic?
that's
Something that they give us?
It's property taxes and it's paid, I guess you would say, we're offset by the state.
Okay.
Because we're, as a district, by them getting the credit, and not having to pay, the state makes up the difference for that. And there's, basically, that's kind of in that, they don't short you, but they want to actually take care of, seniors and disabled veterans. So they give you the money from the state level so that we don't end up.
It's pretty much automatic.
Yes, it's not the right thing. It just, they wait till about this time every year. I think from what I've been told, it's the normal process and then they give you that. Any other questions on that? All right. Set asides, holding constant. I've done some preliminary numbers for y'all on what I think we should potentially change this as we look for a final budget. I'll be presenting that, and I'm still kind of pondering between both the set aside and reserve accounts, but I do have some numbers in mind, but that will be presented as part of the final budget. Next one, Kim. Also, our revenue, I did choice and charter today and have been working on tuition forever, it seems like. Tuition, so because of that charter, remember we talked about the fact that that's going to show as a loss of revenue. But I sent all those TRs, which are the transfer requests to DOE just prior to this meeting, sitting there in the office this evening. And we're working on the tuition piece, which will be some others sent out. Again, anything that's in red here is not negative. It's actually more than we had planned for, which is a good thing. And we're already at, what did I say? We were at 41.7 or 8% of the year, but we're at 8% of the revenue for the year. One thing I wanted to say is that this is the monthly revenue all funds budget that you've normally got. On the expenditure side, I've got a draft ready for y'all, which I think I mentioned it last month, but I think what we're going to do is when we do our final budget in the January, February timeframe, I'm going to present the all funds to run beside this for the rest of the year. That way y'all can see the traditional way and the new way before the new way becomes the norm. That also allows us the first time doing an all funds budget to see how close we get, you know, from an accuracy standpoint, and go through that process together. So that when we start up in July 1 with the new budget, you'll see that side, you know, and then we'll just do away with the old one. As opposed to, I didn't really just want to snatch this out and put something new in because it just didn't feel like, and I felt like we needed to run them side by side. And it'd be actually a lot easier to generate than the one I'm giving you because a lot of it is system generated because it's all funds and we're not moving things before it's presented. So if that makes sense. Any questions here?
No, it makes total sense. We do something called changeover in nursing. We're looking at last month's order to this month and we're comparing them and keeping them together to see what fell off or what should have been added. So yes.
Same concept, yeah, same concept. All right, as part of this, would like to move over, if there's not any questions on this, we'll move over to SB 325's alternative reduction. If y'all remember every year, what happens is we have to do something called an alternative reduction plan if we don't want stuff to come out of all other costs. All other costs is money we're giving from the state, and it has a lot of flexibility. And what normally happens is we submit a plan to use something other than that. If we don't submit a plan, it would just automatically come out of all the costs. Because of that, what we've done this year is we have some unfilled units. And in meeting with your assistant superintendent and head of HR here, he decided to take the entire $625,418.30 out of units that were currently unfilled. That way, the other basically the other program areas, that have to take a hit to their budgets. So, we decided today, that's basically, it doesn't take a lot to make up from that, but this is all written in the this year's budget bill. And what you'll see is that a unit is basically the equivalent of 82,372 from the state side. So basically, we take that, multiply it out, how many we would get, and that's the 625,418. You'll also notice that the number, if you actually do the calculation, slightly off, but you can only get in tenths of a unit. So we did 7.6 because I couldn't do 7.6 or 7.597. So I had to give them a little bit extra, but it's all money we're not spending, so it doesn't actually hurt us. So we have to send this to OMB, Office of the Controller General, and the Department of Education by the end of this month. So we only do this in December so that we can get it approved and get it up to all the folks that need it in Dover. So any questions on that?
I think that's pretty creative how we did that. Very creative. That will not hurt us in next year though, will it, when it comes to time for units or anything?
No, this is an annual thing, because they're unbilled, there's a couple of options. That gives us money for them because we get credit from the state for them.
Yeah.
We could have also, in these instances, you could have claimed substitutes against them. That's allowed, and we do have the other ones that are left open. We basically charge our substitutes, but you can imagine the cost of a substitute versus cost of a teacher, and which one makes more fiscal sense. That's using the 82,000 change as opposed to. So that's why we do it that way. But anything else that's left open, we do code our substitutes too, and basically that does give revenue back into, because that's less, it gives revenue back into the district. Right. We're not deciding, we're less again. Any other questions?
Very creative, I like it.
No, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right.
Thank you. All right, and this is an action item as well, how we the motion to approve.
Derek said, I would approve financial reports for them.
Right.
All right, I have a motion, I have a second, there's no further discussion, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? And that motion carries. The next item on our agenda is long range agenda. And so this week, we have the kindergarten show, Kate at Blaze Elementary. And they'll be at the middle school at 6 p.m. And then school closed, please make note. I know that, it will be posted on Facebook and other social media outlets. But, this is the last week of school until 2025. So just be aware, no buses will be rolling next week. January, 1st to 31st, we have School Board Appreciation Month. I appreciate y'all every month, every day.
So you took care of it. That's it.
January, make note that, some may go back to the first week, but we go back on January 6th. So be aware of that. January 9th, get the PTO meeting at West at 5 p.m. There will be a blood drive at the high school from 8 to 1. That'll be on the 15th. My only question for that, is that strictly for staff and students of the high school or public?
Staff and students. I don't believe they open that. They do open it to the public. Okay, Mike, stand corrected.
Okay,
I'll be there.
awesome, awesome. We have, dance at the middle school, 6 p.m. January 16th, you'll be there. And also, we have bullying awareness night for parents at 6 p.m. also at the middle school. Now, question, being those at the same times and everything, do they happen in different locations or am I confused about something?
There'll be different locations. Parents could drop off and then attend a meeting.
Nice. Smart. I love the creativity. Let's see, schools closed for students on the 17th and on the 20th, so just make note that should be a 4-day weekend. And then the 21st, we have our board meeting here at 6 p.m.
Inauguration night. Is that the same night as the inauguration?
Must be.
No.
20th for the inauguration.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we have that, so we have our important dates right now. If others happen or come up, we will be sure to make sure they're posted. All right, next we need a motion to go into executive session and to leave public session.
Like I said, I move we enter into executive session.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? That motion carries, and it is 6:34.